Riddle me this, dear viewer. What do Evander Holyfield and Andre Lima have in common? You got your answer? They have been bitten out of frustration by their opponents. Like and subscribe. Andre Lima is a Brazilian-born hardworking fighter who is no stranger to combat sports. Lima was born February 4th, 1999, which makes him 25 years old. He has a background of kickboxing starting in 2009, winning multiple youth kickboxing titles in Brazil. Wanting to switch it up and level up his skill in martial arts, Lima would start training in mixed martial arts. In 2015, training at Team Lucas Mineiro, as well as being part of the Mascote team. Eventually, Lima would have 3 amateur fights, having his first fight in 2015 and his last fight being in 2020. He won 2 of those fights by submission and lost his last amateur fight by decision. After that loss, Lima would sharpen his tools and learn how to better incorporate his kickboxing skill into the sport of MMA without leaving himself vulnerable to takedowns. And in October of 2022, he had improved enough to join a professional promotion, Spartacus MMA, facing off with João Oliveira. This would turn out to be a walk in the park because Lima would pick Oliveira apart and land clean, hard shots to the body, leading to a knockout due to a punch to the liver. Just 1 minute and 55 seconds into the first round, Lima was ecstatic and ready to fight again, and he would get that opportunity just 1 month later in November of that same year, this time fighting Luis Martins. Once again, Lima would make short work of his opponent by getting the TKO finish just 1 minute into the first round. Lima was ready for his next fight the second this one was over, leading to him fighting again just 1 month later in December of 2022, facing off with Victor Santos. This wouldn't be a finish, however, but he would still dominate his opponent, eventually leading to a unanimous decision win. Lima would fight again in February of 2023, fighting Nathan Zelle. Once again, he would be the superior fighter, beating Zelle just 3 minutes into the first round. 2 months later, in May of that same year, he would face off with Alexandre Rodriguez, with this time fighting in a different promotion called R1 Fighting Series. This would turn out to be the easiest fight to date because in July of 2023, Lima would fight Igor Talon. This wouldn't be as easy as his previous fight, but he would still get the knockout with a clean, vicious elbows. This would catch the attention of the biggest Bellator, just kidding, the UFC. They wouldn't be 100% sold on him yet, so they would give him a shot on a popular show, Dana White's Contender Series, in October of 2023. He would fight Rickson Zenid for the UFC contract. This would be a back and forth scrap with Lima winning most of the exchanges. Eventually, the fight would be left to the judges to pick the winner, and it was Andre Lima. Most of the time, Dana doesn't sign fighters who win by decision, but Lima had done so well in this fight, as well as his insane record for only being in the sport for 1 year and 2 days. So the big man, Dana White, would give him a shot in the UFC. Lima was excited. In just 1 year, he went from making his professional debut to having a UFC contract with a great record of 7-0, with 5 of those fights being finishes, and none of his finishes seeing the third round. So in March of 2024, Lima would face off with an 8-0 record, Igor Severino. This would be a fantastic, with the first round being very even, and in the second round, Lima was pulling away with it and started to get the better of Igor, and then the unthinkable happened. Igor bit Lima so bad that it was bleeding, and you could see teeth marks clear as day on his bicep, leading to Igor not only being disqualified and Lima winning the fight, but Igor would get cut immediately after his debut. This turned out to be great for Lima. Not only did he win his debut, but he got a $50K bonus, and he got his name out there with everyone either watching the clip on ESPN or by people showing their friends that don't normally watch the sport. Lima still wanted to be active and wanted to get a legitimate win that wasn't tainted in controversy. So in June of this year, he would face off with another up-and-coming fighter with only 1 loss and 9 wins, Mitch Raposo. People wrote Mitch off because of his short stature and not only fighting a well-known name and not fighting any well-known names. This turned out to be wrong because this would be a crazy scrap with both men being tested. But Lima ended up doing just enough to get the judges to award him the win. However, this would be controversial because many people felt like Mitch did more. And that brings us to this weekend. Andre Lima is fighting yet another up-and-comer with a great record, Felipe dos Santos. Felipe has a record of 8 wins with only 1 loss. If you add up Lima's opponents' records in the UFC, it would be 25 wins with only 2 losses, which is pretty crazy. Andre Lima has a record of 9 wins with 0 losses. He has won 5 fights by knockout and 3 decision wins, as well as the disqualification win in his UFC debut. Overall, I'm picking Andre Lima to win by decision, but I do think this is a fight you will not want to miss. If you want to support the channel, be sure to like and subscribe. I hope you have a great week and enjoy the fights this weekend. Bye.